Have been looking for answers, meanwhile, after their 2024 loss. But their long-awaited autopsy report is now triggering a kind of a political firestorm of its own. The pressure is only growing on DNC chair Ken Martin after he finally released that 2024 election report. Many Democrats are blasting it as incomplete, error-filled, totally out of touch. In nearly 200 pages, the review still failed to seriously address some of the party's biggest flashpoints, like President Biden's age and the war in Gaza. Here's Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen.
This was an incredibly shoddy and incomplete report. I can understand why Ken Martin did not want to release it originally, but of course that became an issue in itself. He should have ripped off the Band-Aid earlier. But I agree. Obviously, Democrats failed to connect with people throughout the country, including in the heartland. And it would be a big mistake for Democrats to think that going into 2028, we should simply try to go back to the pre-Trump status quo.
All right, let's bring in Princeton University political scientist Lauren Wright. Thank you so much for being here, for giving us your time on this Memorial Day weekend.
You got it, Molly.
Your thoughts on the report? Finally coming out. They held it for a while.
Gosh.
They decided to dump it out there. Here it is.
You know, I don't think this is about the report, although it would have honestly been much more informative if they just put the thing into ChatGPT, or maybe that's what they did. I don't know. It is a really bad report. But what concerns me more is that the attacks from Democrats about what the report doesn't have are just as out of touch as the report itself. So, you know, AOC, for instance, is out there saying Gaza should have been in there. Democrats were mad about that. And it's true, there is a major divide in the base about that. But it's also true that we had chaos that was so unrelatable to the public unfolding on our college campuses that was anti-Israel sentiment, and that drove a lot of voters away. And so what the problem Democrats are having is they are too scared to speak the truth among themselves. I mean, say what you want about Republicans, but they're sniping each other back and forth. There's lots of attacks on Trump. There's lots of disagreement with his policy. There's a very fundamental fear within the Democratic Party about actually talking about what's wrong. And some of them are these identity issues. It's the trans issues. People are scared to talk about it and to get down to brass tacks.
You know, the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, of course, Republican, has talked about this very issue. When you take a look at this report, the Democrats are actually going further to the left, despite some of those very issues you just raised. Take a listen.
We didn't need an autopsy to understand why they lost in 2024. The American people took those opinions to the ballot box. They didn't want open borders. They didn't want the woke DEI nonsense that they were hoisting on the American people, and they didn't want weakness projected on the world stage, among many other issues. But the Democrats cannot read the mail. They don't take any cues from that. They're going further and further left, guys, and that's a serious trend going on in politics right now.
As we note this report, I mean, what are Democrats going to do with it? Do they ignore it? They're saying there's just not much there anyway?
I think they're going to. I mean, but look, I kind of feel bad for Ken Martin in a way, Molly. I mean, what's he supposed to say? We were advocating a shadow government while our president couldn't string two sentences together, you know, and Vice President Harris was saying he's fine, he's sharp as ever. I mean, these are fundamentally embarrassing things. There were major talking heads out there and Democrats saying that the country is going to cease to exist. That was a Biden campaign line. If Trump is elected, we are not going to have a democracy anymore. I mean, these are just vastly irresponsible claims that no one has ever had to answer for. In addition to the fact that, yes, there were also really unrelatable central planks that Democrats, you know, and I think they sincerely believe these things. They sincerely believe in identity-based politics. They believe in affirmative action. They believe that, you know, if you declare that you're a woman, you're a woman. And I have a lot of students and colleagues who believe these things. And so I don't think it's any surprise that they're having trouble talking about them because they think this is right. They think this is right and wrong. And these are really important issues.
Yeah, very interesting to see that the look back is still occurring. Here we are 6 months out. I mean, a lot of candidates have got to keep their eye on that midterm date that's looming, getting closer every day. Princeton University political scientist Lauren Wright, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you joining us. Thank you.